Mike Schreiber, someone obviously you're very well familiar with, working with your rookie punter today. How did that develop, and what do you think the importance was of linking those two and having them work together here in Napa?
Well, I was fortunate to be with Mike for a couple years in San Diego, and since he's been done here over the last couple of years, I've kind of brought him to Dallas last year for about 2 or 3 days, and I wanted to get him here for 2 or 3 days as well. So he's got great knowledge. He's got a great way of getting some different things across, and he can see some things that possibly I don't. So we've been together watching a bunch of film, him and I, and gotten him around our battery of our holder, punter, and kicker, and got a chance to talk to Johnny a little bit. So he's a great resource for us. I really appreciate him coming out. Appreciate Coach Gruden letting us bring him out.
What development have you seen from Johnny since you've gotten your hands on him?
Yeah, he's just improving every day. You know, he's working on his direction. He's working on his drop. He's holding for a lefty, holding for a righty. So he's working on everything possible to become a great player. So there's going to be some peaks and valleys, but today I thought he had a good day. Only had really one miss on the 11-play punt set, so he's getting better every day.
Has Switzer been as advertised for you in terms of as a return?
I don't know what the advertisement said. So I just know we know a lot about Ryan. He scored in college, he scored in the NFL, and he's competing his rear end off over there at wide receiver, and all those guys are really doing a good job of competing at the end of practice, working on their catches, working on their hands, working on their body position. So I'm excited about preseason stuff.
What made him someone that you guys want to go after? Switzer?
Well, I just think he's had production, as a rookie player, and I know Coach did a lot of work on him when he was coming out, when Coach was still doing the TV gig and doing the draft and those things. So he knew a lot about him and saw him play in the National Football League. So somehow, they worked it out that it became available, and Reggie ended up somehow getting it done. So we're glad he's here.
I know that Townsend can be pretty creative with his punting, do some directional stuff and whatnot. Do you have him throw as much as he can at those return men, and how does it benefit them to have such a talented punter?
Yeah, I think you asked it and answered it. In there, I think all of the above. He's got a lot of clubs in his bag, and we're going to try to use them all depending on where we are in the field. I think that's what he's learning the most now is where am I and what can I use where I am on the field. What's the wind doing? Who's the returner back there? And how dangerous is that guy? And what can we do to certainly help our coverage with the punt? And then for our return guys to kind of figure out, is he going all the way across his body? Is he going towards the sideline? Is he going to try to get a hang and get themselves in position to catch it? It's kind of a chess match to some degree. So I think they're doing good on the return end. I think he's doing really well on the punt end.
What would it mean for you guys to add somebody with his directional punt ability in a division where you see Tyreek Hill twice a year?
Yeah, I mean, our background is, we've been a directional punt team. So we're trying to do it all. We'd like to have the ability to go to the field when we want. We'd like to have the ability to stay the boundary when we want. We'd love to have the ability to get a fair catch when we want. So, but I've seen those bumper stickers that say happens, so we're still trying to work on every punt we possibly have. And these guys, every year, they're getting more and more creative with what they can do with the football. So we're going to kind of lean on him a little bit to call his pitches and learn where he is on the field and what is most advantageous to punt at that time.
Is that your kickers getting any kind of an edge in that competition?
Well, I'd say it's a daily grind, to be the kicker. It's a daily grind. So nice try, though. It was really a good question. I loved it.
Does it mean more? If you can put a ranking on it, does it mean more to you for to have a punter who can really just boom his punts and get the hang time, or does it mean more to you to be able to play differently?
Again, I think, those great golfers, they have to be able to drive, they have to be able to putt, so we're in different places on the field. He's working really hard in the red zone, and then we're working in the field. So we want to just try to put every punt, if we can, to our advantage to the return guy. Give our coverage a chance to cover it, whether it's try to pin him in the boundary, try to get a hang, but the more variation he has to his punts, the better off we can be. We're going to try not to give that guy the same exact catch every time, if we can help it.
Last year, this team had two very capable gunners between Johnny Holton on one side and Cordero on the other. Obviously, Cordero Patterson no longer here. How's it looking in terms of your gunners so far early in camp? And Dwayne Harris seemed to be figuring into that mix. Yeah, I think certainly we went and got Dwayne, and if you look at the last 5 years in the National Football League, Dwayne's always been up in the top 5 in double-digit tackles, not only on kickoff but at the flyer position. And we had a lot of respect for Johnny getting ready to play against him last year. So we got a lot of the receivers out there working, a lot of the corners out there working. Obi's been working out there at Flyers. So we got a bunch of guys out there competing to become the Flyers for us.
You know, I'd say the one young guy in Levitt is we're putting him in a lot of positions, and he's doing a lot of good things for us as a young player. And Arden Key has kind of moved around on the punt and doing a good job. And then I call him Big Shaq for us. You know, 91 is we put him in a lot of different positions, and he's responded really well also.
Jason Kabinda, undrafted rookie linebacker, he's going to be trying to obviously earn a spot somehow through special teams ability, like a lot of guys this preseason. How important for a young player to show he can contribute on special teams, and what does the preseason mean for a guy like that?
Yeah, I think again, all of the above. All of it's vital, and Kabinda's a guy we're playing on both sides of the punt team, and he's responded well. He's real smart. He's real physical. For us, it all starts in punt. We're trying to find the best box players, those 6 guys that can play guard, tackle, and wing for us on punt. It's kind of the all-trust team, you know, to be able to protect the punter. So we've played him on both sides now. He's responded well to that. And I think the preseason game is going to show a lot. A lot of those young guys are going to play a lot of football for us in the kicking game, and they're going to play on offense, and they're going to play on defense. Turns into a high school game to some degree. So they'll kind of show us a lot about their will when the preseason games start.
What's made Switzer such a good return?
Sorry.
What's made Switzer such a good return in the past? Is it his vision? Is it his speed? Quickness? What?
Yeah, you know, Switz just has the ability to make people miss in space, and you know, those guys that have been really good at it. You know, I think he's got 7 career touchdowns in college football, and he hit one last year in pro football. You know, some of those guys that can score, they have a sixth sense to them, and usually if they can make the first one miss and they understand the return, they can get themselves back and help out the blocks. You know, they're in control of really all the blocks as well, bringing all the blocks to them and then setting them up. He just has a sixth sense for it. You know, he's done it a long time, and he's scored a lot of touchdowns. So.
How much role has Eric Harris had on the special teams this year, and how long do you expect to be without him?
Yeah, I don't know how long we're without him. That's not in my deal. He actually practiced through yesterday with the hand, and he's vital for us right now. He's another guy that we were playing against last year that we respected and we were worried about. We had to have a plan for him. He wore 41 last year, and now he's our personal protector on the punt team, and he's playing in every phase. And I know he's working his butt off on defense, and he's climbing the charts over there as well. So he's vital for us, and depending on what his status ends up on defense, will be how much we use him and where we use him. So, but he's really had a great camp.
That's good. All right. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.